Hello from the wonderful Nace Racecourse. It's my first time here today and we've had a couple of really nice races so far. We are going to do something a little bit different for this Christmas special. Just a happy Christmas from all of us at Digitips. Me and Dawn are going to bring you the 12 horses of Christmas, 6 selections each over the Christmas period, and a nap from both Danny and Josiah as well. We'll start with Dawn because she is eager and willing to give you her first selection or two, and then I will be back with my first two from Nace. The next selections will probably come in the next couple of days from us. We'll obviously be posting this on around the 23rd, so yeah, hopefully we'll get some declarations and we'll get some runners for you. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully also providing some winners. Thank you for all the support so far for our YouTube channel. We're looking to level up again in 2025 with a little bit of a different tact. We're probably going to move away from the tipping a little bit. We'll still do selections as much as we can, but we want to bring something a little bit different. There's so many podcasts out there that are already doing tips and selections weekly, and I think we can probably provide a slightly different angle with stable staff and the people that really matter within racing, and hopefully, yeah, some interviews to come in the new year, in the lead up to the Dublin Racing Festival and obviously the Cheltenham Festival and beyond, and into 2025. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe and leave some comments down below if you like the channel. And yeah, here's Dawn with her first horses of Christmas. Thanks, guys.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and I am live from Nace is the place, and myself and Rich at Digitips are going to do our 12 horses of Christmas. And first up, it's only appropriate I start with the adults' Christmas Day, and that is with the King George. And for me, the winner is Grey Dawning. Yes, okay, yeah, you're gonna say, well, Dawn, it's all in the name, but I mean, this special unicorn was so impressive on his season debut behind Royal Pagaille. He was that good that Dan Skelton said, yes, we are going to definitely go to the King George. He deserves to be favourite. 7-2, I really like him. He could pay for Christmas, after Christmas, and the bills beyond of what we've had for Christmas. But he won a handicap hurdle at Kempton last year, so I think he is solid at his 7-2. And for each way play, I'm going back to the corner where I first met him, and that is the mighty Corbett's Cross, his 17-length win last year at Cheltenham last season, and his really good second behind Jerry Calam was so impressive at Aintree. He's 13-2. If you've got Marky Mark up, he's going to give him a peach of a ride. So, and Les Press also in there at 10-1. Venetia Williams at the moment is on fire, the most stylish lady in racing. So it's Grey Dawning to be the King George winner for me. The last King George winner that was grey was one man who won 2 on the bounce, and then Corbett's Cross at each way play, and Les Press at a bigger price at each way play. And Leopardstown Way for the long distance on Stephen's Day. You've got the Boxing Day for Kempton and you've got Stephen's Day. Impere Pass, his debut over Chases at Fairyhouse a couple of weeks ago was really impressive. He was asleep halfway round, but when Paul asked, he just went. Bear in mind, that race at Fairyhouse was the same race that Corbett's Cross won the year before. So definitely it's a race also to pluck from. And for my next horse of Christmas, and this time I'm live from Dundalk on Wacky Wednesday. My next horse is from the Paddy Power Future Champions race. This is a race that Caldwell Potter has won in the past, that Facile Vega has won in the past, and nobody be surprised with who I'm going with. Romeo, one of my 5 to follow this year. Yes, okay, he went down on his sword to Toonavator in the Royal Bond, but do not forget King of Kingsfield, not in this race last year, but at Leopardstown, went on and won out of the Royal Bond at Fairy House. He's 5-1 here, and I still believe in Romeo Coolio. His seasonal debut was too good to forget. One little blot on his copybook at Fairy House, that was it. I still have massive faith in him. I still have massive faith in him at Cheltenham as well. Also to take out of that race, the Royal Bond, was the third horse, Sea of Sands, in the Jackie Mullins colours, and the fourth horse. The fourth horse has run in many different countries, and he's still entire Plantier. He's Polish bred. He is very, very interesting. But for me, in here, it is Romeo to have us all in love this Christmas at 5-1 fun. And don't forget about Sea of Sands. He's 20-1 here. Salvador Mundi, everybody's gonna want, but I want love. I want Romeo Coolio this Christmas. For the Paddy Power Chase, I got it right last year with Meetings of the Waters. Meeting of the Waters is actually in this race, but he's not in the Paul Flynn colours anymore. He's in JP's colours. But I am going for Mars Harper in here. Mars Harper was a fantastic second last day out, and he came out of the Troy Town really, really well. And that Troy Town is meaty. It gives us really good horses. Should there be somebody up like the likes of Danny Gilligan that takes a nice little bit of weight off, he's definitely going to be a smaller price than he is now. But for the Paddy Power Chase, I really, really, really like Mars Harper. I also like Adamantly Chosen. If the ground is less than soft for him, he should run a really, really decent race. Adam is crying out for another good one. He was one of my 5 to follow 2 years ago, and I never give up on my 5 to follows. But it's Mars Harper for Team Gordon Elliott in here. I really like him, and I'm hoping he owns the Paddy Power Chase. And we're on the home stretch, and I'm live from the Anir Hotel in Thurles. Myself and Rich were lucky enough to be at Thurles yesterday and see a very good bumper filly in the form of Blue Velvet, and Joseph O'Brien with a fantastic treble, and great to see JJ Slevin back from injury and riding as good as he's ever been. But I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to keep it sweet with my last two horses. Lost him out for the Christmas hurdle. She's getting the plane over due to Storm Dara still causing problems in Holyhead. She's going over with Spillane's Tower, so they'll have good chats on the planes, but to me, I can't see past her. Burdett Road, perhaps, at each way play. I mean, he's 14-1 fun. He's had a good summer flat campaign too, but Lossie Mouth, our Irish unicorn, even though she's from France, she's ours. Our Irish unicorn wins the Christmas hurdle. And I'm going all the way to New Year's Day, which we used to call Ambulm Photo Day, when he won 4 times in the Savills at Tremor. But this time I'm really liking Monty Starr. He's been second to Spillane's Tower, he's been second to Fact to File. The form doesn't lie. He's Henry de Bromheads. He's 25-1 at the moment for the Gold Cup. I think he's definitely worth anti-post each way play. But for New Year's Day, Monty Starr is the one for me, for Henry de Bromhead. He also has an entry for Savills at Leopardstown, but of course I'm going with the one, the only, Mr. Legs 11, tall, dark and handsome, Galopin des Champs. We will be live there on Savills Day, 28th of December, and I cannot wait. So, luck, love, light and laughter as always. Have a wonderful, safe, fantastic Christmas. I'm going to double up with Lossie Mouth and Galopin des Champs. Take care, thank you for all the support, and here's to a wonderful 2025. Be kind, back winners, be lucky.
Hello and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of the Digitips family. It's Josiah here, the speed rating expert all the way from Montreal, Canada, with Digi, of course, over here with us as well. He travels the world. He's with me right now. I'm currently in Montreal, Canada, as I live here, and I will be flying to San Diego tomorrow for Christmas. So I'm leaving the -20 degrees all the way to the 20 degrees, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, Merry Christmas to all of you, to everyone, to all of our members. It's been great getting to know you this year. We've had a great year. It's been a rough December, but we're hoping to turn it around this week. Keep believing in us as we continue to bring winners, and really looking forward to hopefully meeting one of you or some of you one day. But my Christmas nap is going to be on Boxing Day. Usually I'd be at Wincanton because that's where I'm from, or close to where I'm from in the UK, and I'm not going to tip anything from there because right now it's really hard to tell. There's a lot of runners. However, at Kempton we've got a great card on our hands as usual every single year, and there's a couple that I fancy. In the second race is the favourite, the Jukebox Man. He's going up to 3 miles. He won very convincingly last time out when backed into a very well fancied favourite by the Pauling Yard. It seems to me that they absolutely love this horse. He's going back up to 3 miles, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing. Looks like he could run this field ragged from the front. However, 11 to 8 is a bit too short for me. So I am going to tip something else, which is going to be my nap of the Christmas season, Boxing Day. Kempton, the first race, the 12:45 p.m. is Es Perfecto, which my girlfriend, my Mexican girlfriend has told me in Spanish means is perfect. Is that right, Tammy?
Yeah.
Is perfect. And he's 8 to 1 right now, which is a huge price. And the reason why I love him is I actually tipped him up last time out with Dr. Ken. We got the first 2 in the simulator. Some of you remember we got a great price on him. He won convincingly that day with Gavin Sheehan on board. It was his first run after 6 months, so he's coming back from a break, and he won really well. But the reason why I love him is he's very, very good on the speeds. He's always top of my simulator. But he's very well handicapped. He's got some very, very classy novice chase form from last season behind Jenny's Destiny and some other horses where the rating that he's off right now, which is it's 126, looks very low. I think he's a really kind of high 130s, low 140s rated horse, and 8 to 1 is a very good price. He's only going to improve. He's only going to improve from his last run because that was after a break. We've got Gavin Sheehan back on board. The Alan King Yard is firing, and the first race at Kempton, 8 to 1. Es Perfecto is perfect in Spanish, and we're going to believe that he's going to be winning. So he's my nap, and my next best is the Jukebox Man at 11 to 8 in the second race. It's been great to say hi to all of you once again. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And stay with us as we head into 2025, as we continue to push out winners and drive content. And we're really believing that Digitips is going to take off in 2025. Thank you so much for sticking with us and choosing us. And hopefully meet you soon one day. Take care. Happy Christmas.
Hello from Nace, right in front of the winning post. Now my first selection is coming in the Welsh Grand National. The horse in question is Monbeg Genius. Now I think he's got a big one in him. He was third in the Ultima in 2023 behind Fast or Slow, who finished second, and Correct Rambler, who won the race on the day. That was off 140. He was then third again in the Coral Gold Cup. I still call it the Hennessy. And that was off 147. He has been dropped to 144. He finished a gallant second, actually a pretty damn good run on reappearance behind Fontaine Collonge, who was far, far too good on the day for Venetia Williams. But he beat the rest of the field by quite some margin that day. And I think off 144 on a track at Chepstow where he's won twice as a novice. He hasn't actually won in open company since those novice days. However, I think it could be his day. If the ground is soft, not absolutely like bottomless like it was last year, otherwise Nassalam could go in again because we know he loves that ground. But yeah, Monbeg Genius for me is the one to be on at 10 to 1 currently, so a nice each way price, probably with extra places. I think he has a good chance. He's got that big one in him, and like I say, I think off 144 it's a good mark. He's been not budged from that second to Fontaine Collonges. And yeah, I think he's got a great chance in the Welsh Grand National. So that is my first horse of Christmas, and yeah, fingers crossed he can get us off to a good start on Welsh Grand National Day on the 27th of December. Welcome back from a wintry Turles. The morning after racing, we didn't actually get to record anything in terms of our horses to follow for the Christmas period at Turles because it was just too wet and windy. So we've stayed overnight here at the Anna Hotel, which is beautiful. Dawn's birthday today, 22nd, I'm recording this, and yeah, I recorded my first horse to follow, my first horses of Christmas to follow at Naas the other day. I actually recorded my second one too, but since then Illet Eton has been withdrawn and he's not running against Gaelic Warrior Etal at Leopardstown, unfortunately, so I'll have to not put that in. So yeah, I'm scratching the surface now and trying to find horses to put up. My second selection comes in the Cowto Star Novices Chase at Kempton on Boxing Day, and the horse in question is Highland. Now, he is against the Jukebox Man, who won his chase debut after a decent novice hurdle campaign, finishing second to Dancing City at Aintree. His chase debut was satisfactory, it was okay. I don't think it warrants him being as short as 5 to 4 in places for this race. He did hang, now he hung left, and obviously Kempton is a right-handed track, so if he does that again he's going to lose lengths, and that could be something that backers need to be aware of. Now Highland, I will mention Race IQ. I'm a big fan of the lengths gain jumping. I know a lot of people think it's all bollocks, but you know, anytime you can add a bit of science and data, more the better for me. And Highland's lengths gain jumping at Cheltenham, he has won twice at Cheltenham now. His second win, yeah, was very impressive from the front. A dashing grey horse, Nicky Henderson trains, and I don't think they expected him to be quite as good as he is, and that's probably why he's not overlooked in the market, but he's slightly bigger price than I think he should be, 7 to 2 at the moment for the Cowto Star Novice. If he jumps like he did at Cheltenham from the front, he did make one mistake, 5 out I think it was, but apart from that he was pretty fluent. I know it's a flat track, which he was getting caught a little bit towards the finish, getting a little bit tired, but this flat track will probably suit. Yeah, I expect him to go out in front, make all, jump round, and hopefully he does what Il A Francais did last year and just jump them to sleep and win this race. Yeah, so fingers crossed Highland, my second horse of Christmas, can get us off to a good start on Boxing Day. I will throw the King George in, as it's on Boxing Day as well at Kempton. Sorry, my hair's all over the show here. The wind hasn't let up here at Turles after yesterday. Yeah, the King George, great race, really competitive. There's no real standout, and that's why you've got 9 to 2 favourites, which, you know, the punters seem to want this, and it's what we've been looking to try and get. Yeah, it's what we've been looking to try and get, competitive racing for a long time now, and we've got that in this race. We've got Corbett's Cross, we've got Grey Dawning, we've got Spillan's Tower, who's been supplemented, we've got Il Francais, who's been well supported through the week. Brave Man's Game was put up as a sub-selection about a month and a half ago now at 25 to 1. Now he's not shorter than that. We thought that once entries came out, and maybe Factor File wasn't going, but Spillan's Tower now has, that he would shorten up. Quite confident they are going to change tactics and maybe try and make the pace. I know Paul Nicholls has hinted at that, so that might stand him in good stead. If he gets back to his old ways jumping, then yeah, 25 to 1 each way is a nice price, I think. I think Grey Dawning for me is the winner. I know Dawn's very keen on the horse, and I'm sure she's going to mention him in her post, in her video. I think he looked all over the winner in the Betfair Chase, and I think the ground and the fact it was first time out just got to him in the end. And Royal Pagaille was impressive. It was impressive, but on this track, going around the other way, I think, yeah, Kempton will probably suit him. He's 5-1 at the moment. I think that's, I'm not going to say it's an each way bet to nothing because it is a competitive race, but yeah, I think he's my idea of the most likely winner. I will obviously be playing, or have played, Brave Man's Game anti-post. I think Juntos Ganamos, the French horse, not Il Francais, who has also been supplemented for this race. I think if you can get a match bet on him to beat the other Frenchie, that could be quite a fun bet. I think he's 3 times the price, so you're looking at getting maybe 2-1, 5-2, even 3-1 on him to beat Il Francais. I'd love to see a match bet on him, and I think if there was one, I'd play that as just a little bit of fun. His form in France is good. Il Francais, we know he's got issues with bleeding, and yes, he was mightily impressive last year at Kempton, but the plans in that French long distance Gold Cup, just it didn't go right for him, and he was pulled up early. He was pulled up very early, which might help him. If he'd have run around a lot longer, then you'd be worried. But yeah, I think Juntos Ganamos for me is one that I think he'll beat the other French horse, like I say, and hey, he might be a fun bet because they don't supplement horses for nothing in France, and they come over quite bullish. We saw the horse in the cross-country chase at Cheltenham the other week. I think it's King David. Now, he was unbelievable, and he has run against him a couple of times. So yeah, they don't come over for nothing, these French races and these French raiders, and I think he stands more of a chance than the market's giving him credit for. So yeah, that's my King George musings. I will be back with a few more selections. We're doing 6 each, so there's 2 now. I'll get stuck into the form book this evening if Dawn allows me on her birthday, and I will post the rest of them tomorrow. And yeah, we'll get the video up tomorrow as well on the 23rd. And fingers crossed everybody can have a good Christmas. And yeah, the King George meeting at Kempton. I'm not there this year. I'm over in Ireland. But yeah, it's going to be a cracker, a Christmas cracker. And Highland for me in the novice chase is a good bet, I think. Finally, I'm out to provide the last few selections for this 12 horses of Christmas, 6 from myself and 6 from Dawn. As you can see, I'm sporting the Stateman worn Digitips scarf in honour of the Donnellys, because 2 of my selections are in the black and yellow. The first, I will start with the big man himself in the Neville Hotel's hurdle at Leopardstown on the 29th, and it is the great Stateman, the champion hurdler himself. He is going to go up against Brighter Days Ahead again. Now, she got the better of him first time out this season. I mean, she showed some engine because, to be honest, she can't really jump. And I think if she gets the better of Stateman on the inner track at Leopardstown, then we really do have a superstar on our hands. I don't think it's going to happen. Stateman is odds on to get the job done and reverse the form of that seasonal reappearance. And yeah, I think it's going to happen. I can't see her getting within 2 or 3 lengths of him on this occasion. He's 4-7 at the moment. I think he'll go off shorter than that, really. I can see him going off, definitely shorter than 2-1 on. I think he's going to win this race easily. And yeah, all roads then lead to Cheltenham again to defend his crown. If Brighter Days Ahead, the mare, does jump a little bit better, then maybe she'll get a little bit closer, but no, I can't see it. It's for me, it's Stateman all the way. Come on, boy. We then skip across the Irish Sea to Kempton, well, a couple of days prior. On the 27th, we have the Wayward Lad Chase. Now, this is a race, a real race. We have Sagino, who I cannot desert on this occasion. He is one of my 5 to follow. I mentioned that he may have to take to chasing if Constitution Hill is back and the clash is on. Lossie versus Constitution Hill. The decks are in. And fingers crossed, all goes well between now and Boxing Day, and we do get to see those two take each other on in the Christmas hurdle. But yeah, the Wayward Lad has Ballyburn, Sir Gino, and not forgetting Caliph de Burley too. Obviously he fell on Chase debut and then won nicely at Cheltenham. He was put up for subs and he was put up on the podcast as well while I was in Vegas. It was a nice result. Yeah, don't forget him, don't discount him at a big price. But yeah, the clash, Sir Gino versus Ballyburn. All the vibes from Nicky are that he jumps like an absolute stag at home. He's built like a chaser, as we could see in the Fighting Fifth. He did his job there, but he's a big horse. He's a galloping horse. And yeah, I think if he gets rolling round Kempton, it's a nice place to start in terms of the fences there. It's not like being chucked in a Henry VIII, for example, over the railway fences at Sandown. It's a slightly easier round of jumping for him. But yeah, it's a short price, 5-4. They're joint favourites at the moment, him and Ballyburn. I'm not going to be steaming in backing him at that price, but I want him to get round safely, as I do with all the horses. A nice round of jumping, and I think his engine is going to be too good for Ballyburn. And he'll be, a name that we will be talking about for years to come, hopefully, in all the top races. And this is a great starting point, and fingers crossed, in the Donnelly colours, we'll be cheering him on. Ballyburn against Sir Gino, and it's Sir Gino for me. My next selection is in the Formby Novice Hurdle at Aintree, and it's Celtic Dino. Now, he's another of my 5 to follow. These 5 to follows are going pretty well so far, and he showed that the win at Wincanton was no fluke when he followed up at Ascot in a nice hurdle there, pulling clear in the latter stages to win by, I think, 4.5 lengths. Now, I wasn't expecting him to be thrown into the real deep end, and it's again another top class race that we have in store here. We have Potter's Charm for the Twiston Davis team. Now, he's looked very impressive on all of his hurdle starts so far. We also have horses like Road Less Travelled and Country Mile for the Skeltons, which makes this race pretty deep. If Celtic Dino wins this, then yeah, we can start thinking about Supremes and other big races for him. I thought the Betfair Hurdle was one of the targets at the start of the season. Said by Sam Thomas that may be a race that he would go for. Now, if he wins this, he may go there, but he'll have a big weight to carry. He's a pretty big price. You'll get 3 places each way. I think he's 8 to 1, maybe slightly shorter now. Declarations are in, but yeah, fingers crossed he can run well for us at an each way price, and yeah, I'll be cheering him on, and fingers crossed he can get it done for us. Before I put my final selection up, Dawn's back from shopping. Look how gorgeous she's looking in her festive red. And my final selection is the Paul Nicholls trained Larchmont Lass. She is running in the 120 at Kempton on the 27th. She's going to have a featherweight in this race, which bodes well. You know, any time a horse can have less weight on their back, the better. Especially mares. Sometimes when they get a lot of weight on their back, they struggle to carry it. So, not sure if that's a true thing, but it seems to be when I have my money on anyway. Now, this horse is trained by former champion Paul Nicholls. Other horse in the race, favourite currently, is West Balboa. Now, anytime West Balboa is running at the moment, I don't want to be mean to the horse, but I want to take her on. Clearly, this wasn't the original plan, as she has been chasing. She didn't jump very well at all on Chase debut, and then was well beaten again in her next start over fences. Now, reverting to hurdles here could, you know, the switch could help. But yeah, at 2 to 1, I'm definitely going to be taking her on. Larchmont Lass is currently 5 to 1. If you can get any bigger than that, then I'll be backing each way. Like I say, a low weight in this race. Better ground will help. Forecast good ground at Kempton over the Christmas period. Looked to get a little bit stuck in the mud. Has won actually on heavy ground back in her bumper days, but her last win was on good ground, and yeah, just she was favourite at Sandown, and looked to not really be enjoying it. Now I think she'll get through the ground here, really lightweight, and fingers crossed. I like to say fingers crossed. We are hoping for some luck over this Christmas period, and yeah, she is my final selection of this bumper Christmas edition of selections, the 12 horses to follow. Let's have a good one. Happy Christmas everyone, and may 2025 bring you everything you dream and more. And Digitips will be having more runners, hopefully, more winners for sure. And please, if you like this video, like, subscribe and share. And yeah, we'll be back in the new year with plenty more content. Yeah, have a good one everyone.